What's up everyone, Tom from the Airsoft Headquarters here, and welcome to tips and tricks to do for Airsoft while you're in quarantine in order to be better. So this video is going to be primarily for all of the beginner players that are just trying to fill in some time in order to better themselves for future Airsoft games. So keep that in mind for anyone that is going to be a little bit more experienced, has a little bit more time in their hands. Maybe this video is not for you, but still stick around, see if any of these tricks may be something you have not learned before. All of these tips and tricks you can do from home while you're in quarantine without having to actually put a battery in, put any sort of gas into your pistol or rifle if you have any of those types of platforms, so you're not firing anything. But these are going to better you. So stay tuned. So tip number one is going to be trigger discipline. Trigger discipline is when you have your hand onto the grip here, but you do not have your trigger finger inside that trigger guard. So you are putting your finger up here onto the receiver itself like this, and you are not doing this. This, not this. Because this is going to be the safest way in order to handle all of your Airsoft replicas as well as real firearms. That is something that 100% translates over. You can do the same thing as far as pistols. Grabbing on the pistol, keeping your finger off of that trigger. You should absolutely be practicing this 100% all the time. It should be second nature. It should be just ingrained into your memory. You should have trigger discipline so hard. You do it with drills. You do it with squirt bottles. You even do it with coffee mugs. Discipline. Tip number two is how to hold your rifle. Now there are already millions of videos currently on YouTube on how to hold your rifle, how to stand with your rifle, stuff like that. So I'm not going to go into the details of it. But something that you should know is that with Airsoft specifically, it is a 6mm plastic ball bearing that is traveling through an average 6.07 inner barrel. Now that leaves 0.035 millimeters of space between the BB and the inner barrel itself, which means that's a very tight fit. So any sort of movement from you when you're holding the rifle as you're firing is going to create more friction or more bouncing of the BB off of those inner barrel walls. Now, of course, the tighter inner barrel you go, the more consistent it's going to be because it's not bouncing back and forth. It's still riding in a single pipe. However, if you don't have a super tight bore inner barrel, some of you are going to be playing with stock rifles. The best thing for you is going to be to create a stable platform for you to hold your rifle. So to create a stable rifle platform is you're going to lean forward into the rifle itself. You're not going to be vertically up and you're not going to be completely hunched over, but you want to have a little bit of a lean in order to create some forward, or you want to be leaning forward so that the stock is going to go into your shoulder and you're going to be able to comfortably aim down sights without any sort of issue. Now, as you notice here, the hand that's on my grip is not on the grip because what I'm doing is I am putting back pressure on the very front of the rifle into my shoulder. And that is just going to help stabilize and make a solid support system for that BB to go through the inner barrel with as little movement against that inner barrel as possible. So you can be as consistent as possible. And then by creating that stable platform, you are going to be able to have more consistent shots out to greater distances. Especially when I see guys that, again, let me grab my rifle. Especially when I see guys that are doing this. This is not stable. This creates a lot of back and forth movement. Sure, you're standing upright, you can still aim down sights, but there's still movement with the end of your barrel. Creating a stable platform is going to help. Number three leads right into pistols. Again, millions of videos on YouTube on how to do this. I'm just going to quick show you how I hold it. So, regardless of what pistol it is, I'm going to hold it tight, my hand all the way against the top of the beaver tail as high up as possible. With my left hand, I am supporting it by wrapping my fingers over the fingers that are on the grip. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I don't have a flashlight. I'm not shooting like this or however they do it. Wrapping my fingers around here so that the very tip of my fingers are resting against my knuckles here. And then my thumb is all the way forward against the frame, and my right hand thumb is pressed down against my left hand right here, against the very base of my thumb. And that is going to create the most stable shooting platform for a pistol. Tip number 4 is going to be your gear. And I know I'm going to sound a little crazy repeating myself. Brady and I have made multiple videos about gear and stuff like that, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Always make sure that you get gear that is comfortable for you and works best for you. For gear, it may be new to you. You may have only had it for a short while, but there is a wear-in process for gear. So if you have all this free time with the current quarantine, take your new gear and just wear it around the house. So with your gear, you can go eat, you can go do chores, you can play video games, you can sleep in your gear, you can even shower in your gear.
There is no way I would ever get my LBX stuff wet, like, ever.
But do not go out in the middle of public with your gear on, okay? That's gonna be specifically a no-no because we don't want anyone freaking out given the current times. Hope you guys can understand that. Tip number 5 is going to be reloads. Again, multiple guys that are on YouTube that are doing these types of videos about reloads specifically. But what I'm going to tell you specifically is that in the 12 years I've been playing, in game there was never once where I've ever had to do a tactical reload. Now if you aren't familiar with what a tactical reload is, I will show you that in a minute. But what you should be doing is you should be practicing magazine retention. And I'll show that to you as well. Tactical reloads is when you are going to be dropping the magazine and putting a new one in as fast as possible. So how that looks is shoot, 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 shoot. That is a tactical reload. The issue is that once I drop the magazine, I have to bend down and pick it up. But if I'm being cool guy and I don't have time to pick it up, I'm just going to walk away while my magazine's still on the floor. Which means later I have to come back. Hopefully no one stole my expensive EPM magazines. What you should be doing is what is called magazine retention, or some other type of specific name for it. What that means is you are going to hold onto the magazine that is empty, keep it on your person as you swap it out with a fresh one. So the technique that I use for magazine retention is shown like such. Shoot, 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 shoot. Pull. And just like that. So I did not drop my magazine. I don't have to come back later and pick it up. So if I do leave, I don't have to come back later and find my magazines, which may be lying somewhere on the floor or something like that. So I know that I have all of my magazines, especially when all of my magazines are empty. I can either quickly reload them on the field, or if I'm in the middle of a milsim, I'm going to go to my support player teammate and he is going to reload all of my magazines for me. And it's the exact same idea with pistols. So with pistols, you're going to shoot, 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 drop that magazine. I don't have a dump pouch, so I just have to put it in my back pocket and load a new one in. Or you're going to grab a new magazine, reload like such, put the empty one in the back pocket, and then you're good to go. What you should not be doing is dropping the magazine, because those are expensive magazines, even for the most basic of pistol. It doesn't have to be a Glock one, but you also do run the risk of breaking the base plate up here or breaking the feed lips here, which are absolutely crucial. Yeah, actually, so yeah, this is the one I dropped. The base plate is crooked, so there we go, slide it back in. Luckily, this one did not break, but I showed you exactly what you should not be doing. And then I actually want to show you guys a quick little trick that I have learned over the years of playing. I need my black one, here we go. So if you guys are running double stack pouches like I have up here, and you don't have, you know, some of the nicer open top ones like down here, this is going to be a cool trick for you guys as far as how to memorize magazines that are going to be empty without using a dump pouch system. So like this is for beginner players that are like just starting out with basic gear. So what you're going to do is you're going to have one of your double stacks open. You're going to take the flap and fold it back behind the second magazine. So I have two magazines. For simplicity's sake, I have black, tan, and a red one back here just to make it nice and easy for you. Now, in the situation where you are shooting, you have to reload. You are going to grab the very front magazine from the open top pouch. The very top one, or the very first one. Pull that one. Magazine retention, instead of going into a back pocket, since you don't have a dump pouch in this situation, you are going to slide it back behind the second magazine. So the magazine that was in the back is up front, and the magazine that was just emptied is in the back. And then you have a fresh one in your gun. And then later on, when this one is empty, pulling the first one, swapping that out, magazine retention, sliding that back in place. So now both of these are empty. This one is still full. You're going to take your pouch and you're going to close it up because you know that these two are empty now. And if you have a second open top, you are going to pull that flap back behind, and now you know that this is the pouch that you are going to be pulling magazines from, and this one is empty. All right, just to show you real quick, shoot, 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 shoot. Just like that, shoot, 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 shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. And then when you have a break, these are empty. This one is maybe empty or maybe full. Either way, you know that these two pouches are empty, so you're going to go to your support buddy or whoever in order to have your empty magazines refilled. Thing number 6 that you should be working on is going to be transitioning. Now that's going to be transitioning hands or transitioning from rifle to a pistol. I currently don't have any of my holsters here at home. They're at work. So transitioning is taking the rifle from your right side, transitioning it over to the left, like so. Again, there are a million guys that already have videos on how to do that effectively, so go watch them. Same thing with transitioning with rifle to pistol, if you have these available, is dropping the rifle, grabbing the pistol, and just doing all of those drills. For reloads and transitioning, those can all be done while you're watching a movie or something. You know, something that you can do in your room. Work on your reloads, pulling mag, inserting it in, getting back, aiming down sights. Same thing with transitioning. Work on transitioning to your left hand, to your right hand, or transitioning to a pistol. It's all kind of just something that you have to build up as far as muscle memory, something that you don't have to think about because it all is just going to happen. It should all be muscle memory. Number 7, as far as stuff that you can work on from home, is going to be understanding your profile. Now that's going to be the profile of the outline of your body, or it could be the profile of your body plus your rifle. You know, this adds an extra amount to your overall profile. So if you're going behind a piece of cover or something and you have a longer rifle and you're trying to hide, understand that you have all this extra length here that is being exposed. You know, someone else farther on the other side of the field is going to see the barrel and know that you are behind that piece of cover versus right up to the cover and covering down like this, and understanding that. Also, watch videos on how to approach cover and use cover to the best of your abilities. That's going to help as well. Not going to go over that again, more videos. Number 8 is going to... Jesus, okay. Number 8 is going to be watching videos and doing research on different types of tactics. Again, there are just so many different types of methods and techniques that other branches of military, law enforcement, or even tactical gun guys that are doing 3-gun, you know, versus actual military guys are using as far as how to go into a room, how to approach cover, how to pie a corner, stuff like that. You know, even the most basic stuff as far as high ready versus low ready, that oftentimes gets confused because there are so many different techniques and methods available. But those are like the hours that I would spend on trying to explain how to pie a corner, how to move down hallway, how to breach into a room based on my experience is just way super time consuming. Honestly, there are so many guys that are putting out these videos on how to clear a room, how to do these different types of techniques, and really I don't want to try to take any of their thunder. There's already videos out there, you know, just do your research. I want to be the one that puts out different type of content. I don't want to be saying the same things, showing the same things, and just creating the same exact video as other guys are doing. The information that other people are putting out on YouTube is going to be the exact same as what I or anyone else would be saying as well. So honestly, just go do some research. Go watch some videos. You got all this extra time. Just go check them out. And let them know down in the comments that I sent you. Doesn't really matter who it is. My favorite people are going to be T-Rex Arms, Travis Haley, Chris Costa, even for Airsoft specifically, Jet the Desert Fox, Robo Murray has a lot of good tactical sense. Matt the Musketeer specifically has a video on how to do CQB tactics. You know, you got so many videos for Airsoft and for the real firearms industry. Just use those to your advantage. All that information is right at your fingertips, so go check them out. And number 9 is going to be, now that you have all of these things at your disposal, you've practiced reloading, you've worn all your gear, you've watched all these videos, now it's the time to kind of put them in practice. Now, for all of these, you don't have to use green gas, don't have to use BBs. So what you're going to do is you're going to start in the basement, start in your room, start in the bathroom, start in the garage, somewhere. You're going to put yourself in different scenarios, and then you're going to go through your house and you're going to reach a corner. You're going to critically think about how to move, excuse me. You're going to critically think on how to move past this corner. You're going to think about how you would go down this hallway if you were one guy trying to clear a house versus if you were 4 guys. How would you move according to their movement and where you would stand as far as if you were to breach into a room, where you would move once you're in that room, stuff like that. You know, do small little videos. You know, record yourself while you are doing reloads and see just how fast, how good you are, and then give it the 2 weeks, 3 weeks that we are in quarantine, and then after you've done all of those reloads, all of those transitions, record yourself again and look at the progress that you might have made. Now, this is something that you absolutely have to be consistent at. You have to develop these skills. You know, all of the 3-gun competition guys, or even all of the real military guys, they do these for hours almost every day in order to get better at it. So use this time to practice, you know, develop all of these transitions, magazine swaps, room clearing techniques. Just get better at it and develop that muscle memory and that skill, because in the future, when it comes to us being able to go onto the field again, you are going to outmaneuver, outperform, and outthink all the guys that are currently sitting on their butts playing video games, getting bored out of their minds, because they're not doing anything to help develop their skills. You are instead, and that's what's going to make you a better player. So that's really all I have for you guys right now. Like I said before, we're all in quarantine as well, but if you guys are not following MC Kydex, please do. They are going to be the next piece of gear for your kit that is going to increase the level of your game as well. I currently have quite a few of MC Kydex gear. I have the universal Kydex holsters. On my plate carriers, you see that I have his Balefang radio carriers. On almost all of my gear, I have a wide range of banger clips as well, from the smalls to the bangers to the larges as well. And I have quite a few holsters of his as well. So during these times, what he is doing is he is helping all of our smaller businesses out, such as the Airsoft Headquarters. So if you were to shop his website, please use the promo code AHQ, that is the letter A, letter H, letter Q, all caps, when you check out, and that's going to help us during these times and it's helping him because you are purchasing through him directly as well. We support him. He is helping support us. If you guys are shopping him, use the promo code AHQ, please. As always, I will see you guys in the near future with another video. Please be safe during these times and don't go out too often. I'll see you guys later.